All right, Daisy, thank you very much. It's been a year since we first began reporting on issues with the unemployment system in the state of Kansas. So
many of you have shared your stories with us, and you've waited weeks and months for your unemployment benefits.
So, all new this morning, only on 41 Action News today. I-Team reporter Jessica McMaster looks back at the past year, shows us where we are right now, and what the state plans to do to make sure you get the money you're owed.
1 year ago, Kansans began pleading for help in need of financial relief, with no one there to take the call.
I had called unemployment over 500 times.
I've been able to get through on the phone lines once, and that was on April 23rd, where they just told me to wait.
An antiquated system.
We're doing what we can with a very antiquated system.
And an astronomical increase of those in need of unemployment benefits. Governor Laura Kelly unable to provide an immediate fix.
I apologize for the delay.
Former Kansas Department of Labor Secretary Delia Garcia resigned after months of issues.
We are in uncharted waters right now.
Many Kansans understanding of the challenges brought on by the crisis, but say the state should have been prepared.
It's like trying to build an interstate in 3 weeks, right? So I get that, but they should have had a disaster plan in place to begin with.
The stories we heard at the beginning of the pandemic still prevalent 1 year later.
I spent probably a couple hours on a Saturday calling, and I called about 130 times maybe, and still didn't get a hold of anybody.
Deputy Secretary for the Labor Department Brett Flashbarth says at the beginning of March of last year, there were 2,000 to 3,000 unemployment claims. This March, 20,000 claims.
The switch on this flipped overnight. We went from a very historically low claims environment to historically high claims environment.
From 20 call center employees to 450, training that usually happens over a 6 to 12 month time span happened within weeks. The call center moved to individual home offices.
The logistical challenges were pretty significant.
System upgrades and new programs to provide assistance.
We had to create out of thin air the Pandemic Unemployment Assistance Program that had never existed. So it's been one kind of programming challenge after another through the course of the year.
Historic levels of fraud, pulling resources, adding to the delays.
We had never seen a type of massive assault on the system through identity theft that we saw this past year.
And while the backlog with getting funds out to the people of Kansas still exists, Flashbarth says things are getting better.
The call volumes are decreasing dramatically because we are getting more and more money out the door.
Flashbarth says the backlog should be resolved within weeks. Modernizing the system could take up to 6 years. And while that won't help the current situation,
we know that next time we're in this position as a state, we'll have the type of system we would all want to better be able to handle that workload.
The Department of Labor says once the kinks are out of the new systems and programs, claims should be processed much easier. For the I-Team, I'm Jessica McMaster, 41 Action News.
So if you're still having trouble getting through to the Kansas Department of Labor, the department tells us the best thing to do is keep calling. And I know what you're thinking as soon as I say that, but they also say they understand that it's frustrating. As you heard in Jessica's story, they recently brought on hundreds more employees to work in their call center to assist with those calls. More than 400 people now trying to get those calls answered whenever you call. So please keep calling.